In security matters, CISA, the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act. This week, privacy advocates in the Department of Homeland Security raised concerns about that bill. The Senate punted, and lawmakers went on vacation. Will it make a comeback in 2015? For answers, I'm joined by Alexei Alexis, e-commerce and privacy reporter for Bloomberg BNA. Alexei, what is CISA and how would it work?
Well, as you said, it's the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act, and what it would basically do is boost information sharing by private companies. The concern currently is that companies are reluctant to share information about hacking incidents because of the fear of lawsuits. So what this would do is provide legal protections.
For fear of lawsuits and embarrassment, I suppose, too, right?
For sure, yes.
Now, last month, this bill seemed to have momentum, but DHS threw a wrench in the works. On July 31st, Deputy Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas responded to a letter from Senator Al Franken. Here's an excerpt. We have concerns with the bill that permits sharing with agencies other than DHS and that mandates real-time dissemination of indicators without delay or modification. He says those provisions would actually undermine the bill's privacy goals. Now, this letter surprised me. Why at the 11th hour would DHS take a position directly at odds with the Obama administration?
Well, that's a good question, and one thing to keep in mind is that the White House was responding to a revised version of the legislation and was happy with some of those changes. The DHS letter was apparently in response to a previous version of the legislation, and it's unclear, at least to me, whether DHS is happy with the new version. Another thing to keep in mind, though, is that the White House really, I believe, wanted to make a clear message that Congress really needs to do something on this issue, that it's really critical and they really needed to get behind this bill.
Now, Alexei, amendments also played a role in derailing this bill. Tell me more.
Well, on one hand, you had strong privacy advocates on Capitol Hill who wanted to make changes. And then on the other hand, you had a bunch of other senators who wanted to expand the bill and address other issues that currently are not addressed in the bill. And so that, along with the privacy concerns, just made it difficult to get a bill quickly through the Senate in the final days before the August recess.
Congress managed to pass a few small cyber bills over the past few years, but a big piece of legislation like CISA has proved more elusive. Think it'll make a comeback sometime this year?
Well, there's a good chance. In the week that the Senate was working on this, just before they left, they reached an agreement that allows the majority leader to bring the bill back after the recess at a time of his choosing with 21 amendments. And so that's progress. But the problem is that when Congress returns in the fall, they're going to have a bunch of pressing issues to deal with, including the Iran nuclear agreement. And they still have a lot of issues to work through on cyber. So we'll see. I mean, cyber is still a high priority for both the president and for Congress. So there's a good chance that it'll get through.
Stay on top of this for us because we will revisit the issue later on in the program. Alexei Alexis, reporter for Bloomberg BNA. Thanks again.
Thank you.